obviously, the big news of the day is, with all the stuff we have going on in this crazy, mixed up, topsy-turvy world of ours, there's so many problems to deal with. Inflation, gas prices, will the Fed drop another deuce and fuck with the money and the printing and the brr and thing and Russia, boo, hurt mein Führer, aha, and all that stuff, you know, those things are a big concern, which of course means that the Republicans, now that they have seized a one-seat majority, believe that they now have a massive mandate to dictate, take that word for what it's worth, dictate the direction of the U.S. government. It might as well have won the White House. Now, will that majority last? No, it will not. It might not even last till swearing in. And I'm still waiting for that. I'm so excited. That said, they've decided, Jesus Christ, now that we're in there, we can solve this. Yes, how much gold is in Fort Knox? And how much woodchuck could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? It's, yeah. Hal, sending luck, whatever you do, you'll be, thank you so much. I'm trying. Oh, crazy, insane alien. Thank you for Hal and the laptop. Yes. Yes, the laptop shit will backfire, but it is the most important story, and you could tell because Jim Jordan was invited on Maria Bartiromo's show to talk about said thing. How do you solve a problem? Mornings with Maria. Rep. Jordan rips garbage report that likened Hunter Biden's story as Russian disinfo. By the way, I want to be clear. I am not likening it to Russian disinfo. I am fucking saying it. I'm not, it's not an allegory. It's not an analogy. The whole mixed up bullshit thing is hilarious, and I got some backup vids. As a matter of fact, I wasn't going to do this till later, but I got to show you some of this shit. Hype train right out of the way. So let me find something for you before we even start this horse shit, because I know I'm going to need it as backup, and it's going to be hilarious. So I think some of you, if you saw the morning show today, you know that I actually went through the ridiculous process of watching somewhere in the order of 6 hours of ridiculous videos. Hold on the, stop it. Okay, and I've got to switch my audio back to my ear thing. It's just everywhere. Headphones. There we go. These guys. Now, so exciting. So sexy. I'm going to wait to show it to you, though, because I want to see what's said first. I'm not going to jump on this. This is the clip they posted. Fox Business, Jim Jordan, Maria Bartiromo, hit me with your best shot. Let me hear your excuse for why this is, I'm so wrong about this fictitious fart air laptop. Okay, let's do it. Oh, hold on. God! Don't, Jesus Christ, did I just wake up or did she? Holy shit, back up. It's just, this is fucking frightening. All right, here we go.
Welcome back. Well, the White House is pushing back. Welcome back. Well, the White House is...
Welcome, Mac. Welcome, Mac. Your dreams were... she didn't... welcome back, I think, would be the word that she was...
pushing back this morning.
Hold on. Back up. Welcome, Mac.
Welcome back. Well, the White House...
Yep, that was a welcome, Mac. I thought it was a welcome back, but with like a clothespin on your nose. Nope, she said welcome, Mac. Welcome, Mac. Hi. What's up, Mac? If you're in the audience, bless you.
Is pushing back this morning on House Republicans' investigations into Hunter Biden and the Biden family influence peddling. A White House counsel's office spokesperson said this.
Alleged.
Congressional Republicans' top priority is to go after President Biden with politically motivated attacks, chock full of long debunked conspiracy theories.
Yes, as the person who did a good portion of the debunking, I would say, can we just change it to dunking and fuck yeah?
But House Judiciary Committee ranking member Jim Jordan,
best known for looking the other way while sexual assaults happened on the OSU campus, and warning and threatening and castigating people for coming out about it.
Pointing out yesterday the FBI and Justice Department has had a long list of issues over the years. Watch this.
Have they? Yeah. So this is not covering the bullshit Hunter Biden laptop story. Is like right up there with J. Edgar Hoover, miking or bugging MLK's motel room.
2016, they spied on President Trump's campaign.
No, they didn't.
2018, it was the Mueller investigation.
The Mueller investigation is not a violation of the FBI or the DOJ's charter, nor were they misused it, because literally that was put in place by his people.
2020, they suppressed information about the Hunter Biden story.
No, they didn't. There was no they. Bullshit.
22, they raided the president's home. 91.
They did not raid his home. He lives in a couple of rooms out of a rental property of his a couple of months a year. He summers there.
Days before an election. Maybe it'd be nice if the FBI and the Justice Department just stayed out of it and let we the people decide who we think should represent us, who we think should lead us. That's supposed to be how America works.
Yeah, but they also have to go after criminals, even if you want to vote a rapist to be your city councilman. A rapist is not allowed to commit that crime and then go, I'm running for comptroller. Hands off. Sorry, you can't touch me. I punched out a toddler in a Walmart, but I'll have you know, I'm an alderman. Doesn't work that way, dumb fuck.
So this is the focus on the Judiciary Committee.
This is the focus on the Judiciary Committee. Is it now?
Joining me right now, the man himself, the Ohio
man, in air quotes, please.
Congressman Jim Jordan, soon to be the chairman of the Judiciary Committee. And Congressman, it's great to see you.
Not for long, though.
Thanks so much for being here.
Good to see you, Maria. Good to be with you.
Can you connect the dots to the Biden family influence peddling and
alleged
and the FBI's lack of oversight?
Alleged.
Connecting the dots to a national security threat to America, because that's, in my view, what's most important here. It's not about attacking a sitting president's family. It's about
it is
what this represents with regard to communist China. And
that's right. Yeah, obviously. Good point, Maria. You can't not see the forest for the fucking trees. U.S. China relations. Let's see what the February 2022, from the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace. Why U.S.-China relations are locked in a stalemate. Because that's what China. Sure, we'll give your son $1 billion and he can walk out of here scot-free with it, but you have to promise us our international trade relationships will be at a stalemate and you'll be harder on us than Trump was. Folks, not a joke. It's a joke. All right. Here's the Brookings Institute. October 4th, 2022. Are worsening U.S.-China relations in Taiwan's interest? Yeah, it's abundantly clear to, I think, everybody that China, they're just getting anything they want from the Bidens. They just can't, they bought this kind of access a long time ago, and you can't, that kind of sweet access where you pay someone apparently a huge bribe to stick a softball bat up your ass covered in barbed wire is curious to me. Especially when they would have done it for free, apparently. All right.
Other adversaries. Can you connect those dots?
No.
Yeah, it seems like he's doing business deals in all kinds of countries that are adversaries to the United States. It's Ukraine. It's well, Ukraine's not an adversary, but
well, that's if you're going to make an example right out of the fucking gate, don't make Maria do face. You can't make her do like dog whistle. You can't do that right out of the gate. Adversaries like Ukraine, well, it's not a thing. But like China, which is saying competition, not conflict. But okay.
But at the time, it was a corrupt kind of place when he.
At the time, it was a corrupt kind of place. What isn't it now, motherfucker? It's not corrupt. Again, how many times do I have to say this? If you had a gun to your head and you had to invest every dime of your family's fortune in Burisma, and you had a choice before Hunter Biden is on the board or after Hunter Biden is on the board, when do you put your money in? When? When would you do it? You have to pick one. Which one? And I'll give you a little hint. If you invest before Hunter Biden joins the board, your money evaporates and goes right to Russia, where some oligarch guzzles it in the form of vodka and ejaculates it all over God knows who throughout the third world. Or you could put it in after Hunter Biden was there and you could make your money back plus a profit and they would take 10%.
When he's over there, but Russia and China.
Yeah, but Russia and China, you mean the two countries we are in the highest level of conflict we've had in decades? What is it? What in any of this, in anything that's happening right now, says bribe to you? What in this says manipulation to you? What in our relationship with those two countries in particular? I would argue that if it was Iran, you'd have a point. Because the Iran nuclear deal is a dicey proposition. It's very difficult. And obviously there's value to having Iran's oil back on the market because they are a direct a competitor to Saudi Arabia and therefore the OPEC countries of which it is not a member, and also Russia, and they are giving arms to Ukraine, to the Russians to use in Ukraine right now. But at the same time, if they were allowed to be free again, you could foment some level of, genuine democracy there. If you could help in any way, that'd be touchy. So it's really a touch and go kind of thing. And almost anywhere you enter the Iranian fray, you could look like you're taking the side of somebody awful. That's possible. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, Don. Believe me, we're going to cover all these committee hearings, I have no doubt. But Iran's the one area where you could go, I think they're bought by Iran, but there's no fucking paper trail at all. Not that there's a paper trail in these other areas, but you couldn't even make it the fuck up. And if you really looked into it, it'd basically take you to Betsy DeVos and Halliburton. But Russia and China in particular, you've got Biden saying if China goes into Taiwan, we will defend it with military force, and we have more military personnel on the ground in Taiwan than we've had in the last 25 years. We have Marines on the fucking beach teaching Taiwanese soldiers how to fight back if the day ever comes. And with Russia, we have the hardest sanctions any country has ever experienced in the world. Now, granted, they earned them during this time, but they didn't get them softened at all by the Biden administration. And we're helping Ukraine push back against Russia in the biggest way possible. So if you're on the toe from Russia or China, honestly, you're making deals like Trump makes deals. You are fucking your partner.
And of course, remember how this story has changed. When we pointed this out yesterday, at first when this came out 2 years ago, it was, oh, no, it's not Hunter Biden's laptop.
No one said that. I said there is no laptop. Nobody said it's not Hunter Biden's laptop like it's somebody else's laptop. It's a laptop, but we don't know who. No, it's not like it was never a fucking laptop to start with.
It's just Russian disinformation.
What's on there is, yeah.
And then it was, well, okay, it's his laptop. Maybe it's really not Russian disinformation, but President Biden wasn't involved. Remember, he said, I have no knowledge of my son's business dealings.
Right. That doesn't mean you don't know his business partners, or you haven't met them, or you haven't seen them on travels, or you haven't had dinner with them. That doesn't mean you're involved in the deals. And if you guys want to dig that shit, like I said, let's go back to Halliburton, shall we?
Well, now we got all kinds of documents and evidence that are showing that Joe Biden was involved.
No, you don't. No, you fucking don't, kiddo. And you know, you want to know why these guys are going to call for hearings like this, but it will never go anywhere with the DOJ. Even if Trump was running the fucking country again and he could put like the biggest fucking sycophant in charge of the, you know why it's not going anywhere? Chain of evidence.
Hunter Biden was asking to get a key for him to be able to get to his office suite that he had, along with the...
Yeah, no. Shared office space where a charity's going to run out of half the office space, and then they're going to have some of the office space for a company that they formed together with a Chinese company on the rule that it cannot be 50% owned by the Chinese government. And Tony Bobulinski goes, well, they don't have any companies like that, and the deal falls apart. Fuck off.
Emissary for the chairman of the Chinese energy company. We know that he was involved. We've had testimony from an eyewitness, Mr. Bobulinski, who talked about the...
Mr. Bobulinski, who shopped the influence. Tony Bobulinski is the guy who tried to get them business by going, I can hook you up with the vice president. Bobulinski is the guy who was selling that to other people. It got him fired. It didn't go anywhere. When he brought it up to Hunter Biden, even in the emails they show, he's like, yeah, I can't do that for you. You can't even make those promises.
The big guy. So now this story has changed from, it wasn't his laptop. It was his laptop, but it was Russian disinformation.
Yeah, sorry. Did you just shit and a giant stone turd fell on the ground? Or is that what the lie sound? Oh, I think Maria fell over.
And, okay, he wasn't really involved. Now he's involved, but it didn't impact his decisions as president of the United States.
Okay, he's falling back. This is the biggest problem they have with any of this shit right now. Notice how he finally got to my argument. Because if the Chinese dumped money on Hunter Biden to get to Joe Biden, it did not amount to anything. So the biggest thing they can say, if everything they said was true, is that the Bidens built the CCP out of $1 billion. $1 billion that the CCP apparently, which doesn't exist, but let's just follow the lie. $1.5 billion, $2 billion, let's be like Trump, $4 billion. How much? Who cares? That's $2 billion that will never be spent on Chinese military arms or Chinese cyber tech that will attack our infrastructure. That's $2 billion that will never see the light of day funding the Confucius Institutes or spies in the country. That makes Dark Brandon the Joker in this situation, setting fire to the giant pile of Chinese money, saying it's not about money. It's about chaos. If the setup and the payoff is exactly like they said it was, then the Biden family, following their logic, probably got some high-level CCP military guys killed. For real. They were like, we gave him $1.5 billion. This is going to be sweet. He's going to be president. We're going to follow this up. He's going to roll in there. He's going to knock off Trump's tariff shit. He's going to, oh, he made it harder. Well, that's probably he's just going to, at least he's not going to back Taiwan. Oh, he said he's going to, if we attack Taiwan, they're going to fight back. Fuck. Well, at least we're good as the factory of the world. He's not going to tell, oh, he's moving all the big chip factories out of there and nobody's allowed to even sell us that shit anymore. There is no fucking way the upper level of the CCP didn't blow somebody's brains out over this, if any of it was true. And this is the problem they have right now.
Oh, really? Okay, maybe. But it's changed dramatically.
Oh, really? Okay, maybe. Yes. That's a yes, fuckstick.
Dramatically, so...
No, it has not changed dramatically. Your story has changed dramatically. The bullshit... And by the way, you want to see how much this bullshit story has changed? Hold on. Let me grab this. Where is it? Is it this guy? I'll open this. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, what's the truth behind all this? We need the truth more than anything else. We need to know what really happened behind about the Hunter Biden laptop. I present to you part something of the John Paul McIsaac documentary, the shockumentary, the rockumentary, if I dare say so myself, of the Hunter Biden laptop story. Told in a way, by the way, that is not at all meant to manipulate you. It's just a statement of the truth. You don't need any manipulation when you've got the truth. You certainly don't need soft, sad, yet hopeful music playing during the whole fucking thing. John Paul McIsaac.
John Paul McIsaac, and this is the story of what happened after I gave the laptop to the FBI.
By the way, he doesn't know who the agents are. Agent Mike and Agent Joshua, which if you're familiar, was Gary Busey's character in Mr. Joshua, was Gary Busey's character in Lethal Weapon. That's who he allegedly gave the laptop to.
Well, it sounds like you just said you saw that help from several people. And so there was an intermediary.
By the way, this is a year after he allegedly gave it to them. All this story, the whole John Paul McIsaac story about the laptop, is in 2019. The problem most people had was keep it quiet, keep it quiet, keep it quiet, keep it quiet, and then boom, October surprise, because nobody would be able to look deeper into it until it was too fucking late. It would affect the election, but then after you found out 6 months later it all turned out to be bullshit, Trump would be in for a second term, it wouldn't fucking matter.
The stakes are incredibly high, and hedging on this question, it could impact the safety of a lot more people than just the people you care about.
It wasn't long after my December 9th interaction with the FBI that
December 9th, 2019.
Events transpired that would cause my previous concerns for my safety to return. Agent Mike instructed me that moving forward we should...
Agent Mike. Because all FBI agents go by their first name. What's your name? Agent Mike Shevelivostov. Just call me Mike, though. I'm from Ohio.
Should only communicate through text message, no email.
Wait, listen to that again, by the way. An FBI agent, an FBI agent said, don't email me anymore. Just text me.
Moving forward, we should only communicate through text message, no email.
Yeah, there has never been an FBI agent who wasn't fucking someone who ever said that. Just nonsense.
He also said that if somebody came into the shop looking for the laptop, that I was to contact him immediately and stall them for 24 hours, and agents would return the equipment.
Yeah, also something that never fucking happens. Just horseshit. I can't wait, by the way, for this testimony. Please, 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 Jesus, please. Please. Mwah. Please, Jim Jordan and all you fucksticks, bring this guy in and have him say this under oath. Please, please. Yes, Mike Hunt, that's who it was.
When leaving the shop that day, Agent Mike turned to me and said, in our experience, nothing ever happens to those that don't talk about these things.
On his way out the door, Agent Mike said, you know, in our experience, and he lifted the cigarette to his mouth, nothing happens to people who keep their fucking mouth shut.
And at that time, I was just so happy that the laptop was leaving my shop, I didn't hardly notice the...
By the way, he says this a bunch of times in all these. I'm going to cover this in a deeper thing. I won't do the whole thing. But he keeps saying, I couldn't wait to get that out of my shop. I just wanted it out of my shop. He kept a fucking copy. He made a copy of the hard drive. He had multiple copies of it. You dumb motherfucker. If they're going to kill you because you have information they don't want to get out, you don't even want the copy. You want to make sure that the people you give it to, like, I don't even have a fucking copy of the thing. You don't keep a copy in your shop. He didn't go, I kept a copy, but I put it in a safety deposit box with a dead man switch on it that a friend gets an email automatically because I'm a tech wizard that if my heart stops beating for more than 35 seconds, the drawer pops open and the hard drive ejects into somebody's lap like they're a fucking wide receiver, and then they take it right to my connection at the local news. Jack off.
Odd instructions or the thinly veiled threat.
Yes, the two guys he trusted the most, the FBI agents his dad set him up with by talking to Rudy Giuliani's lawyer. Yeah.
Shortly after agents...
Mike, you know it's real. It's Agent Mike at FBI.
Collected the laptop.
Why the fuck would you redact his name? Give his fucking name.
I received a call from Agent Mike requesting assistance in accessing the drive. I assisted them by providing phone support until they were able to access the drive.
Wait a minute, Agent, who's calling? Was Agent Mike calling you from the 888 number, but since it was toll-free, it didn't matter?
This data. I thought that it was odd that they required my help.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. The FBI needed him. Shit. Just honestly, get the fuck out of here. The FBI went, how do you open this? You already had copied stuff off the hard drive onto this off the laptop onto this hard drive, allegedly. You gave him the laptop and the hard drive, except for the copy you kept for yourself. But they needed help getting the information off the hard drive that where the fuck were they? In a safe house?
I assisted them by providing phone support until they were...
Nobody asks a fucking witness or somebody providing evidence to give fucking phone tech support. You're a fucking moron. This is just embarrassing. Please, 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 someone make this motherfucker testify under oath. So don't, all right, I'll get more into that shit as it goes, because there are 4 fucking episodes of The Truth starring John Paul McIsaac with, I hope, royalty-free piano music under it. This motherfucker.
We do think it's important to get to the bottom of all this and show that
you are the bottom, you piece of shit.
The American people the truth. And I would just say this to push back on what the White House said.
Here's a good idea. Push back on what I said, dipshit.
This is not about getting anybody.
Yes, it is.
This is about getting the facts.
No, it isn't.
To the American people, which is part of our constitution.
First of all, if you believe these things are facts, they are widely available. The whole contents of that hard drive are available online. You can find them. You can watch all the stories. The reason he goes, there's a very distinct reason why this human shit pile is saying we need to get the truth and the facts to the American people, because they never intend to indict based on anything in the laptop, because they couldn't. 2 reasons. 1, it's bullshit. 2, chain of evidence. Again, if you tried to convict or indict anyone on material from the laptop because of, and I mean the hard drive called laptop, if you try to indict anyone because of the chain of evidence and who's had it all along and how they ended up in possession of it, any first-year law student could get it kicked out of court. Any first-year law student would be like, this is bullshit, Your Honor. Like, his political rivals had this. There were files added after they received it. It's not even a forensic copy. You know, none of the metadata is available. Fuck this. Yeah, and then it would be fruit of the poisonous tree. Anything you find on that is suspect because it's manipulated, because the whole thing can't be trusted. We want it all thrown out. And it absolutely would be. Absolutely. That's why they need a committee to come out and act like it's real.
Constitutional duty, and it's about making sure that we don't have a Justice Department that is operating in a political fashion, which we know.
which is what you're trying to get it to do.
Oh, it currently is. It's
no, you don't. And that's, again, allegedly.
about stopping that. That's the focus.
That's the focus. What we're going to do is, you know, we think the other cases are bullshit that are going through the DOJ. So we're going to come up with another bullshit case and see if they stop our bullshit case. And because we think the other case is bullshit, if they stop our bullshit case, then we know that they're picking sides in bullshit cases, not that theirs isn't bullshit and ours is bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about the lies coming out of this White House all the time, you know.
Yeah, like what?
2 quarters of, you know, contraction is not a recession. The border is secure.
It isn't. It is.
You know, we're allowed to mandate vaccines. We're allowed to forgive everybody's debt. I mean,
yeah. Somebody let me know. Send me an email when they've forgiven everybody's debt, because that's some Great Reset World Economic Forum shit right there. Shaving 10 grand off of people's college debt and another 10 if they have a Pell Grant is not forgiving everybody's debt. Again, this is the exaggerated straw man, the like faux straw man.
But this situation of calling this story a conspiracy theory and a debunked conspiracy theory.
It is. It's debunked on multiple levels. I've done it several times, and no one has been able to push back on any fucking thing I've said.
How do they get away with that when we know these are all facts? This is...
I'll tell you why. Because in your mind, in my soul, in my heart, I know they're facts. They aren't facts, but I know they are. That's how... Notice the wiggle room she gives herself here. Secondarily, the reason they keep getting away with it, whatever the fuck it is because they are not facts.
All from Hunter Biden's laptop and...
No, they aren't.
And a Senate investigation by Ron Johnson and Chuck Grassley, who have uncovered facts of money, tens of millions of dollars that the Biden family took in from officials tied to the Communist Party of China, the party of China that wants to overtake America as the...
Yeah, and yet they're not going to. And their chances of doing it have gone down since Biden took office. Again, this is the problem that Jordan faces.
Number one superpower, putting potentially a sitting president in a compromised position.
Yeah, except you would need him to be throwing China some bones or setting them up to win, and he's doing the exact fucking opposite. As a matter of fact, the only people running on changing his policy with China are Republicans. And a couple of members of the squad, I think.
How do they get away with calling that debunked conspiracy?
Well, they watch my show, obviously, Maria. I mean, let's be honest. I'm the dude saying it doesn't exist at all. I'm the guy who did the deeper dive than anybody else did in this shit, and I'm calling it horseshit. They've seen my show. My facts and my conversation about this stand up way taller and way prouder than any of the furious bullshit that they are flinging around, this big, like, burning turd man that they are trying to create as some statue of the paragon of truth that they're trying to sell to everybody about the existence of this non-existent crap.
Yeah, well, they get away with it because we're not going to let them get away with it. We're going to get the facts out there. But they tend to get away with it because the mainstream press just trumpets whatever they say. Yes.
No, they don't. As a matter of fact, the Washington Post and the New York Times both had headlines that said what we got from the Hunter Biden laptop, even though the reporters that did the stories had never seen the laptop and had only seen a hard drive named laptop given to them by an associate of Rudy Giuliani. And yet they still printed a headline saying what we got by looking through Hunter Biden's laptop. Now, if you buried in the article, if you remember how I went through it, you'll see all kinds of paragraphs about how it's a forensic nightmare and files had been added even after Rudy Giuliani had it in his presence. And it had been copied so many fucking times, the metadata was fucking useless. And that's part of it. That's not even all of it.
Yesterday, Maria, was probably the first time that the Washington Press Corps heard the facts about this story. Yeah.
He didn't say facts. Jim Jar, I would like to say that each of those statements that he made he also made them in that little like press junket thing. All of them were lies. 4 lies right in a row. Standard Gish Gallop.
Yesterday was probably the first time they had to report on the facts about this story. Yesterday was probably the first time that they actually saw, wow, this isn't Russian disinformation.
It is.
That letter that was sent on October 19th, 2020 from the 51 former intel officials was garbage. That letter.
No, it was true. They were aware of it. And by the way, especially since that hard drive had apparently been in the wind and available to people since the previous October. And yet they waited till October of 2020, right before the election, as an October surprise to get it out there. Because again, it does not stand up to scrutiny. The more you look at that shit, the more it falls apart.
That said, oh, this has all the classic earmarks of a Russian information operation. Baloney. So that's what we've been up against. Yeah.
Oh, baloney's an answer. Baloney works. I mean, you might as well. Do you want to borrow my fart gun? Yeah, that's as substantive a response as baloney.
Yesterday was probably the first time that the Washington Press Corps had that presented to them in a concise package where they said,
nonsense.
Wow, there is something here. So.
No, they didn't.
We just got.
Literally everyone came away from that one going, same shit, different day.
To show the American people what took place. And
look, and by the way, if you want to know how hard it is to sell this fucking idea, look at the Chiron. That's one of the first two-layer Chiron sentences I have seen in for fucking ever. Because Hunter Biden laptop or Jordan on laptop is not going to sell it in big, bold letters. Rep Jordan, we have all sorts of documents now that show Biden was involved in Hunter's business dealings. That's the whole fucking thing. Whew.
And as you rightly point out, the concerns about ties to the Biden family and these countries like China and Russia, who are our adversaries.
Yes, who are currently only getting support from the most MAGA-y on the Republican side, especially Russia.
Well, I got a report yesterday from a source who told me that Joe Biden had a second private iPhone paid for by Hunter's firm for the entirety of his vice presidency. And he said that circumvented...
well, it sounds trustworthy. This source...
Secret Service security protocols. Over his 8 years in office, it amounted to $25,000 in undeclared income.
Wait, what? $25,000 because he had another iPhone? All right. Private iPhone, watching you. They see your every move. They see it. Private iPhone.
Do we know this for sure? That
no, you don't, because your friend is making it up.
Joe Biden, as vice president, had a second private iPhone.
So he had 2 private iPhones. Is it my own private iPhone starring Keanu Reeves and the late great River Phoenix?
We don't. I don't.
I don't know what you're talking about. That seems to be bullshit. I can't respond to it because, but I'll add it to the congressional record. So
I don't know that that's accurate or not.
Okay.
Maybe it is. I don't know. We have not had. But what I do know is this.
Yeah, that it's basically true.
There are 150 suspicious activity reports. Again, suspicious activity reports on banking transactions. The committee staff and the committee has only seen 2. And the Biden White House changed the protocols, changed the process.
Yeah.
Used to be committees could see that information, but now all of a sudden the Biden administration, no, you're not going to see it. We'd kind of like to see the other 148, see what's going on. Most Americans never get any, but here you have Hunter Biden, Jim Biden.
Yeah, during the Trump administration, Trump is running all kinds of, like, anytime Biden has a speech that he gives, they're going to basically this, like the same thing with Comey, where they're trying to sick the IRS on him, and it never fucking worked.
Biden having 150 regarding their business transactions, their banking transactions.
While you guys ran the House and Senate and had the presidency.
I think that's a concern. And why did
they drop off precipitously once you guys lost the House and Senate?
If it's not a concern, why did the Biden administration change the policy? So remember, the Biden administration has not complied with any inquiries that came from Mr. Comer in the committee. They've changed the policy on the suspicious activity reports, and they've set up a special office to attack us and attack what the work we're trying to do to get the American.
I would, let's say for the record, I am not part of a special office. I do this in my spare time because I enjoy it as a hobby. Some people build ships in bottles. I fuck up Jim Jordan's life. I mean, his professional life. I don't think anybody could fuck up his interpersonal relationships. I wouldn't even begin to know what that's about.
American people the facts. I think that kind of looks a little strange, frankly, which sort of tells us.
Yeah, let's see. Take those suspicious reports and multiply them by 8, and you would have how many times Trump has pled the fifth so far.
Maybe there is something there that they
per just piece of paper
don't want us to see.
But that's the point. How are you going to deal with this? They're not answering any of, your requests. The White House is reportedly preparing for a number of investigations from a Republican House majority for months. It's looking for new hires. They want to hire additional lawyers to beef up the oversight.
By the way, that's a story from like 9 months ago that didn't pan out.
Response team, Congressman. So, you're going to be, I assume, putting out subpoenas, putting out demands for documents. Yeah. What if they just blow you off?
Yeah, you blew them off. How do you answer that? When they tell you to go fuck yourself, how do you go, well, we would never tell you guys to go fuck yourself with a subpoena? How about this? You can have any document you want, but Trump has to testify like Benghazi, 11 hours.
Got all these lawyers that they're going to hire.
Well,
why is Maria so shrill? I'm going to go with Merlot.
What are you going to do about it?
What are you going to do about it? Look the other way?
Yeah, they're going to push back, but we're going to push it. We're going to be aggressive. We're going to do it within, according to the Constitution, but we're going to do it in an aggressive fashion. But I will say this, in 2 weeks, we have the first witness coming to talk to us while we're still in the minority.
Very exciting.
We had a witness who was a former employee at the Justice Department. She's coming to talk to us on December 2nd. So
I'm excited. Live? You gonna do it live? We'll do it live.
It's already started where they're saying, okay, Republicans are in charge. We better just give them the information that they're asking for. So we'll see what we learn in that. But that's our first deposition into this whole political nature at the Justice Department and how.
Right. You guys want to go out on a limb as to how lame that testimony is going to be? That she'll testify like she felt like people should have moved quicker, or she felt like, did anybody tell you not to? No. Did anybody tell you you had to? No. But it was just a general, I just felt like, as a supporter of Donald Trump, that they were mistreated. Did they ever tell you you had to or you couldn't? No. It's going to be so fucking boring.
They've been operating based on 14 agents. Again, remember, 14.
No. I'm going to, since they're protected by whistleblower status, come on out. None of them are getting killed. Nobody's getting snuffed. Nobody's going to lose their fucking job. If they have a legit thing to whistleblow about, get them out there. This is so tiresome. Play, stupid.
14 agents who've come talk to us. Yeah. FBI agents who've taken whistleblower status who come talk to us. So this is the first sort of witness we're getting in front of us. And we did that without having to do a subpoena.
Right, because these people are for Trump and against Biden. See, the difficult part is getting people who you would have to subpoena to speak truthfully under oath and support your case. Digging up assholes who are already on your team is not the gig. Anybody can fucking do that. That's one of the reasons why the Jan 6 committee had so many Republicans come and speak. Because nobody can make exactly the case I'm making about this dipshit.
Well, I mean, our audience knows I'm very concerned about the Chinese Communist
very concerned.
Party and their efforts. And so
their efforts to what? Collapse their economy? Grind their country back to pre-Mao poverty levels?
What about the FBI and the DOJ?
What about
DOJ and that investigation? How
does anybody speak Chinese there? Because that kind of makes me feel weird.
How far can you take that, Congressman?
Yeah, I know. Somebody's pointing out, check out the market numbers on the screen. I'm very concerned about on Fox Business that.
Because, we have one piece of important news, which I've been talking about. This FBI agent named Elvis Chan. He's one of the.
我最喜欢我的朋友 Elvis 害出了。
The FBI agents who tried to hide the Hunter Biden laptop right before
Oh, did he?
the 2020 election. He's going to be deposed. But now I understand that his family is Chinese. He's the first American born. And isn't it true that if he has family in China, that the CCP can bully him into reporting back to the CCP?
I see. So if he tells the truth under oath and it turns out to be nothing and it doesn't support your claim, then he's probably being bullied by shadow Chinese people. When the opposite is fucking true. Although, here's the interesting part. Considering the policies of the Biden administration, if he testifies against Biden overall, it is more likely that he is being persuaded to do that than the opposite.
CCP, Mike Pompeo.
Yes, Elvis Chan was the first American born ever. It is true. And he has left the building.
Pompeo has said to me many times the CCP is now inside the gates of America. I mean,
yeah, they're at Fox News, clearly.
Do we have somebody within the FBI and these agencies that are reporting back to the CCP?
Jesus Christ. Did the Chinese have spies in the FBI and the DOJ who are manipulating this? No. As a matter of fact, the vast majority of maggots in this country are being manipulated by media put forward by Russia and China specifically for this fucking purpose.
I mean, I hope not. I don't know that there is. I certainly hope that.
Also, what the fuck is Maria Bartiromo, apropos of fuck all, bringing up to a sitting member of Congress this magical fake second iPhone that Biden allegedly has, when we know full well that Trump had an unsecure iPhone during his run, and this might just be a way of tamping down that complaint as it comes out in the upcoming indictments. And then secondly, the Chinese now all of a sudden, and would have had them apparently all during Trump, throughout the FBI and the DOJ. So if there were people in the DOJ that are reporting back to the Chinese Communist Party, and Biden is harder on the Chinese than Trump is, and they would rather have Trump in based on policy because, again, most of his tariff stuff was lip service, then wouldn't it be more likely that the DOJ moles the Chinese allegedly put in following her bullshit, that those people would have set it up so that the Mueller report wouldn't go any further, that they would hamstring the Mueller report to protect Trump?
That's not the case. I doubt that that's the case. But I do think it's there are all kinds of concerns and all kinds of ways that China tries to meddle in American affairs.
Yeah, it's not through moles in the fucking FBI.
I think we all understand that. We are in.
No, we do not all understand that. These are not all created equal. And it is fucking racist as shit to try and even make people look at the Chinese, American-born Chinese person that's working next to them and go, got any family over there? Like, fuck you, Maria Bartiromo. That's gross.
I'm interested in talking to Mr. Chan about this relationship between big government working with big tech to change the kind of information Americans can see. And in this situation, to big tech was...
Here's the problem. Why is Republican tech and media so small? Why is it so pathetically shriveled? Why is it all like, why is the Republican media empire such an innie?
Was giving information, it looks like, to the government about people that they had thought were spreading disinformation. I mean, that is, you talk about an attack on First Amendment liberties.
First of all, no. They were not saying this person might be sending you stuff, this person. They're saying we're hearing from foreign sources that this shit is coming into the country. Doesn't matter where you get it from. Those people could be disinformation agents doing it on purpose, or they could simply be misinformation agents who just don't fucking know their ass from their elbow. But when they get that information to you, we know where it came from, and it came from overseas. That is not attacking the free speech of these people. It's letting the people who are the target know that whether it's a direct delivery or a ricochet, it's still dangerous.
And then when you couple that with what we know happened, because
what happened?
Mark Zuckerberg said it happened in the fall of 2020, just days before we have the most important election we have in the country.
Yes. When the Chinese, the Russians, the Saudis, even sometimes the Israelis, the Iranians certainly, all try to fuck with our elections. And that's not going to stop. That's going to increase.
The election for the commander-in-chief, we have the FBI going to Facebook and saying, hey, be on the lookout for Russian disinformation.
Right. Which you would do because you know it's coming.
And that meeting happened to happen just about the same time that these 51 former intel officials put out that letter that said, oh, it has all the harm.
Because it all happened in the lead up to the election. Again, correlation, not causation.
Earmarks of Russian disinformation. That is a big concern when you got the government weighing in on an election process and what Americans get.
Of course the government's going to weigh in on an election process, especially when it involves foreign interference. Warning someone a bus is coming is not fucking with bus schedules.
Yeah, that's right. And the New York Post called it the 51 spies who lied. Are you going to subpoena?
Yeah. Why don't you quote what the Post just said about Trump?
Any of those spies who signed that letter to call...
Any of those, yes. Yes, subpoena all of them. And they'll tell you that was my legit opinion.
Hunter Biden's laptop disinformation?
We want to talk to lots of people, Maria. We're putting...
That's a no. This is these are cowards' answers.
That list together, and but we do want to talk.
Okay. But you're going to talk to any of these fucking... I don't trust them. I mean, they served in the military, and a lot of them saw action, and we, pretend we give lip service to supporting vets around here, but fuck that, okay?
To a number of folks as we go through this investigation.
All right, we'll be watching it all, Congressman. Thanks very much for your leadership. Thanks very much for being here this morning, Congressman Jim Jordan.
We're able to act.
Is that his real name? Okay, so hold on, cancel. Boring. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. That's a clip that Maria Bartiromo's show put up. That's the argument. Her, and considering how Trump felt about unnamed sources, there's a whole lot of that shit going on. And as far as Chuck Grassley's 14 FBI agents who've come forward, the FBI has 36,000 employees nationwide. You're going to tell me you can't find 20 that are hardcore Trump fans that just grew up big John Voight fans and decided to jump ship? Get fucked. Put your money where your mouth is. You're not going to get fired. That's what the whistleblower protection is for. The problem is all these assholes are going to come forward and do the same thing that those affidavits around the election were all saying. I saw some boxes and something just didn't feel right, Your Honor. Are you swearing under oath that you saw fake ballots in it? No, I'm just saying that I didn't feel right. So you're swearing about your feelings in this affidavit. Yeah. Okay. Fuck off. Doesn't change a goddamn thing.